OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship hosted by Georgian College. We're here for the main event, a primetime matchup between the host Georgian Grizzlies and the Niagara Knights. On the call, I'm your host Sean McAvoy, joined by me, former Georgian College volleyball athlete Adam Bilby. How you doing tonight?
I'm not doing too bad right about now.
Looks like we've got a great matchup ahead of us. First seed East Division Georgian Grizzlies taking on fourth seed in the West Division Niagara Knights. Niagara 10-8 on the year, Georgian 17-1. Georgian entering this tournament the #1 seed in the East Division for the second straight year. Last year fell short in the semifinals and came short of a bronze against the Fanshawe Falcons. This year, looking for redemption, a strong team chasing gold. We'll take a moment for O Canada. A packed house here at the Georgian College Athletic Center. A lot of energy here for the hosting Georgian Grizzlies. This is their opening game of the tournament. A lot on the line as they chase gold. High expectations out of this Grizzlies team. Niagara is going to need to match the intensity in the gym already. Adam, you're close with some of the players on the team. What are their thoughts heading into tonight's matchup?
Well, I think they're excited. Get some of the jitters out early here in the first set and try and get going quick.
Only one loss on the season for this Grizzlies team. And the crowd is ready to rally behind them as they take the floor. Grizzlies starting will feature Liam Gray, Jordy Romero, Matt Kerr, Ryan DeBrun, Sam Thorup, and Darian Haynes, with Keith Roberts looking to enter as libero. So it will be Roberts in at libero. Haynes headed to the bench. He'll surely see the floor, though, later in the match. And it's Niagara starting with the ball. A lot of energy here as Jaden Milne start things off. We're underway. Roberts sets, Gray, Kerr. Big first point for the Grizzlies. OCAA All-Star Liam Gray in the service box. He's got a wicked serve ready to go. It's handled by number 3, Robert Zalewski. And sent over for a point. That's number 11, Mitch Sawatsky, second-year man out of St. Catharines. He sends Tristan Swindon to the line. Swindon serve finds net. Perhaps some of those first set jitters you were talking about, Adam.
Yeah, you always want to get the first one in, but can't win them all.
Romero puts it over, handled by Milne. Zalewski sends it over to Sawatsky. Now Thorpe gets it over. Desperate swing there. Well handled at the net by LeBrun. Niagara steals the point there, to the displeasure of Matt Kerr. Number 6, Ben Fillmore now to serve. Fourth-year man out of Port Dover. Another serve into the net. These Knight players are going to be fighting the hometown crowd all night. Lots of energy in this building as Matt Kerr gets ready to serve for the Grizzlies. Ball is up. Niagara handling it. Number 11, Mitch Sawatsky, unable to get it over the net there. And the Grizzlies are rolling early. And by Zalewski. Zalewski, Sawatsky, put over there by Bujardini. And it's Bujardini firing it wide and out of bounds there. Grizzlies take a 5-2 lead early in the first set. Matt Kerr at the service line. Sawatsky. Bujardini puts it right at Liam Gray, unable to return it. Knights getting possession, getting to the service line. It's going to be number 11, Mitch Sawatsky, serving for the Knights. Grizzlies leaving a lot of space in the middle of the floor right now. Sawatsky fires it long. Knights so far at the service line just handing the Grizzlies points. It'll be Ryan DeBrun in to serve. Handled well by Zalewski. Milne puts it over. Roberts does a good job digging at that. Gray puts it over. Thorup firing it just out of bounds. Knights hoping to put one over the net this time as number 15, Jake Williamson, second-year man out of St. Catherine's, head to the service box.
You just want to make Georgian earn some points here instead of giving away for free. That's what you want.
It's been 3 points handed to the Grizzlies early. Not this time. Gray sets for DeBrun. Handled well by Williamson. Milne throws it right at Gray there, earning the point there. Williamson's going to be back at the line to serve. Now only 1 point separating the two teams. It's a 6-5 lead for the Grizzlies. Williamson serves up. Roberts putting in the air. Gray setting. Thorup contested at the net. Thorup's going to get a second chance at it. Williamson. Bujardini. Romero dives for it. Gray now setting for DeBrun. DeBrun tipping it. Middle of the floor. Great job by Niagara covering for that one. DeBrun's going to send it back. Haynes now in at the center. And he's going to get a chance at it. Milne. Big block by Darian Haynes. That's where Darian Haynes makes a living. That center position there. He's going to be living on the net all night long. Big block there, earning Georgian the points. 7-5 lead as Thorup puts up the serve. Sawatsky. Big hit by Swindon. Earns the Knights the point. Elijah Bujardini with the serve. Thorup handles it to Gray. Gray swats it over. Bujardini, a little help from the net. Gray plays it to DeBrun, who fires it, and it's tipped out. Big point for the Grizzlies. The Knights disagree. But it'll be Darian Haynes serving for the Grizzlies. 8-6 lead in the first set. Ball is up. Milne. Kerr was able to get the full block there. It went off his fingertips. Perhaps made it tough for Haynes to get a full read on it. It'll send Milne to the service line now. As the crowd gets on their feet, ball's up. Long, another point handed to the Grizzlies from that Knight service box. Unable to find a rhythm so far. It'll send OCAA All-Star Liam Gray to the service line. Great serve. Matt Kerr with the huge kill. Big point. And Liam Gray is not going to give up that service line if he doesn't have to. For the fans at home, Adam, why is it that he puts so much spin on the ball? What advantage does that give him?
Well, it gets more velocity behind it with the spin serve. You know, it's a little deceiving. You don't know if it's going to drop in it deep in the court. It puts the other team in a lot of pressure.
So we saw another spin serve there by Liam Gray. DeBruyne gets up on the net. Good scramble defense by the Grizzlies. And DeBruyne fires one over off the hands of those Knights defenders, and Grizzlies get another point. It's going to lead to Niagara burning their first time out. Grizzlies coming out with a lot of energy here. What kind of message is Coach Reed Saxby giving to his players right now after Niagara burns their first time out of the game?
We just got to keep the pressure up. I don't think Georgia's missed a serve yet. As long as you keep the ball in the court, then the pressure's on Niagara to make a play out of it. So if you stay consistent and keep the pressure up, that's all you want right now.
They're doing a good job of it thus far. Niagara scrambling, especially from that service line. We've seen 4 to 5 points been just handed to the Grizzlies. And in a game like this, that surely has cost them.
You hope to see as the game goes on that Niagara gets a little used to their surroundings, and maybe that's all what it is. A lot of people in the gym, ball just carrying out of bounds, or hope they can get the little jitters out and get ready to go after this timeout.
Niagara surely will want to gather themselves before losing a set. Liam Gray to serve, it's inbounds. Sawatsky puts it over. Liam Gray with the set to Kerr, right off the head of number 14, Tristan Swindon, and out of bounds. That one was in the face. Liam Gray to serve. Milne digging for that. Sawatsky, big block by DeBruyne, but out of bounds. It'll be Tristan Swindon looking to make the most of this trip to the service line. Roberts to Gray, Gray to Romero, fired in, Roberts recovers, Gray over to DeBruyne. Big block there by number 15, Jake Williamson. Doing a good job on the net. I think that's where a lot of the battle is going to be won and lost today. Georgian very strong on the nets. Swindon at the line, ball's up, out of bounds.
Yeah, just go off Georgia being big at the net between Matt Kerr and Darian Haynes. I think they're averaging close to 2 blocks a set. That's tough to do.
Romero, ball's up. Over Williamson, firing it in.
You definitely don't see that too much in the men's game with a step out of the middle. It's more dominant in the women's game, but it's nice to see here.
Taking advantage of it early. Ben Fillmore at the line for the Knights. Ball's up. Good dig by Roberts. Sets up Kerr, gets blocked to the net. Roberts now setting to Thorup. Thorup putting it over. Number 3, Zalewski. Moving it over to Bujardini. Kerr now setting Gray. Kerr, money for the Grizzlies. Matt Kerr, that's a big body up front. You see him going for a kill, you better get out of his way. That's coming in hot. Matt Kerr at the line, ball's up. Zalewski. Over to Williamson, blocked by DeBruyne, but out of bounds. Mitch Sawatsky on the serve. Romero, Gray, DeBruyne, point Georgian. Made it look easy, great ball movement. And DeBruyne just comes out firing on that net. He'll have his chance in the service box now. Georgian wanted a, and they'll get it. 4 touches on that Knights side of the ball. Point Georgian, 16-11 first set. DeBruyne firing. Milne gets up. Haynes with a big block, but it goes out of bounds. Knights awarded the point as Jake Williamson heads to the service line. Romero handles that to Gray, to Haynes. Point Georgian. When they get a clean return, they're able to set up that kill. It seems to just be easy points for the Grizzlies. What is Niagara going to have to do to go up against that?
A lot of it can come from the service line. You put them in pressure off the service line, they can't pass the ball so well, and then you can read Liam Gray a little easier. Oh, great up.
Roberts, great dig. Romero. Georgian scrambling, but they're going to get it over. Good play there by Liam Gray. Good block by Haynes. Romero sets up DeBruyne, just fires out of bounds. It's Elijah Bujardini on the service line. Ball's up. Roberts, Gray. Gray with a little surprise tip over the net. Milne sends it over to Thorup. Gray, Romero, spiked, point Georgian. Matt Kerr comes in for Keith Roberts. Darian Haynes takes over the service box. Milne, great kill there. Found the empty space in that Georgian defense as Keith Roberts makes his way back in the game for Darian Haynes. It'll be Jaden Milne on the line. Ball's up into the net. And that is the story of the first set here. Just so many points handed to the Georgian Grizzlies from that Niagara Knights service box.
Absolutely.
Liam Gray. Zalewski. Sailing out of bounds. It's going to be Niagara's point. Zalewski heads off as number 15, Jake Williamson, heads in. It's Williamson, Fillmore, and Sawatsky on that front line for the Knights as Tristan Swindon serves. Gray. DeBruyne off the hands of Williamson, point Georgian. Jordy Romero heads to the service box. Great job on the net. Matt Kerr contested. Tristan Swindon there up at the front. It was Sawatsky contested, and he won that one. Big point for Georgian. It's going to cost Niagara yet another timeout as the Grizzlies have a 6-point lead here in the first set. Big thank you to everyone in the crowd for coming out tonight. We've got a packed house here at the Georgian College Athletic Center. A great turnout. Lots of other varsity athletes in the crowd, fans, students, parents. It's a great turnout. We're happy to show off the Georgian College Athletic Center, the great facility, great programs we have here. Thank you to those joining us on YouTube for the live stream. We'll be streaming each and every game throughout the weekend. If you need to step away from the stream, you can stay up to date with all the action from the OCAA Championships on our Twitter and Instagram pages. That's Georgian Grizzlies on Twitter and Instagram. Jordi Romero taking the service line as we'll get back underway. Romero. Great job by Mitch Sawatsky getting up on that ball. It was contested, but he just powered that ball through. Ben Fillmore to serve. Great job by Romero. Great athleticism getting low like that. Thorpe just firing a little wide. It'll be Fillmore back on the service line. Trying to close the gap as the Grizzlies hold a 21-17 lead here in the first set. It's Fillmore to serve. Firing up the Georgian Grizzlies crowd here. Roberts handles it. Gray over to Thorup. Finds the seam. Point Georgian. Head coach Reed Saxby seems to be keeping the rotation. Darian Haynes coming in for Keith Roberts at that libero position. Matt Kerr serves just a little long. Roberts back in for Kerr. It's number 5, Kyle Thiessen. Roberts puts it in the air. Gray to Haynes. Haynes gets blocked by Williamson and floats to the ground. Niagara gets the point. We'll send Kyle Thiessen back to the service box. Kyle Thiessen, a first-year man out of St. Catharines. Serving it right to Roberts. And Thorup putting it out the back.
Niagara slowly playing themselves back into this first set here.
Thiessen holds the line. Puts it over. Romero got there, and Gray's going to play it over. Big kill by Williamson. As the gap closes, it may be time for head coach Reed Saxby to think about taking a timeout. But he'll let him play for now. Confident his Grizzlies team will be able to maintain this lead. It's Thiessen at the line to serve, trying to tie this one up. The crowd getting loud here at Georgian Athletic Center. Roberts. Keeping it alive is Gray. But the Brun unable to get it over. And Saxby will take a timeout now, as we're all knotted 22-22 in the first set. It's the final match of the day. Day 1, 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship hosted by Georgian College. Adam, what's the difference been between, say, the first 10 points and the next 20? I mean, it's been it was all Georgian early, and Niagara's clawed their way back into it.
I think Niagara just tightened up a little bit. They stopped committing those unforced errors, serves out the back, some swings out the back line. They tightened up and calmed down a little bit. Now they're making Georgian make the errors. That was a great sub here by Coach Grunfeld with Thiessen at the service line. He brought them back in this game.
It was Niagara that handed, say, 7 points to the Grizzlies early from that service line, just unforced errors, as you talked about, Adam. Kyle Thiessen, though, on a bit of a run here. He'll look to keep that going and get his Knights the lead. And there's another one into the net.
I think we just gave him a jinx there.
So it's Daniel Ramos now coming into the game. He'll be serving. Ramos puts it over. Milne, Sawatsky. Milne fires. Great backup by Romero. Went off the hands of Gray at the net. Milne fires again. Romero does the exact same thing. Great athleticism shown by him as Roberts has to volleyball over the net. Milne setting it up for Bujardini. Great block by Jake Edwards. Firing up the Grizzlies crowd.
Looked like they tried to do some trickery on that play from the Knights.
It backfired on them, and now Ramos is at the line for set point here in the first set. Milne putting it into the net. Georgian takes the first set 25-22. And this athletic center is on their feet. We take a moment to pass on a message from our friends at Bel Air Direct. Looking for a better deal on your car insurance? Go online and get a quick quote in only 3 minutes at belairdirect.com. Full-time college and university students under 25 could save over $250 on their car insurance with Bel Air Direct. That's a $250 savings on car insurance for full-time college and university students. Get a quote today. A big thank you to all the fans for coming out today. Lots of energy in the building as the Georgian Grizzlies game crew hands out some freebies, some shirts. Lots of reasons to come out to the OCAA Men's Volleyball Championships this weekend at Georgian College. Giveaways, great action, a whole lot of excitement and fun. Games will be going on for the next 2 days. Games at 1, 3, 6, and 8 tomorrow. Consolation final, bronze medal and gold medal matchups all happening on Saturday afternoon. Still lots of action to come your way from the Georgian Grizzlies Athletic Center. This time we'd like to thank all of our staff and volunteers at Georgian College for making this 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship the spectacular event that it is. We're happy to see a packed house, fans smiling, and great volleyball action. You can't ask for anything more. Live on the call, I'm your host, Sean McAvoy, again joined by former Georgian Grizzlies men's volleyball player and OCAA athlete all-star Adam Bilby.
Yeah, you just hope that these crowds can keep up for the whole weekend, not just for Georgian, but for everyone. It makes the environment that much better for all the players to play in.
Absolutely. It's been a great turnout, this certainly being the most packed game we've seen so far today. Your host Grizzlies have a 1-0 set lead over the Niagara Knights. It'll be Georgian starting with the ball. Liam Gray has it here. Gray with the spinner. Zalewski. Gray setting up Romero. Right to Swindon, who swats it down. Niagara taking the 1-0 lead here. I mean, usually you don't want to give up the service line, but the way that Niagara's been serving the ball thus far, hey, Grizzlies might be okay with it. We'll see what happens here, though, as Tristan Swindon looks to make things right. He gets it over the net. Roberts handles it. Gray's going to set it up for De Bruyne, who fires it in. A little bit of help from the net, but we've got a tie set here. Second set.
Yeah, they decided there to set an inside ball. It gives them different angles, and sometimes the blockers don't catch it, and they didn't catch it there.
Ball's in from Romero. Milne. Sawatsky. Sawatsky again, tipping it out of bounds. Good job, Liam Gray pulled off of that one. He wanted to go for it. He held off of it. Keeps Romero at the line. Fillmore to Sawatsky. Gray's all over it. Roberts now setting to DeBruyne. Zalewski cleans it up. Fillmore. Sawatsky. Big point for the Grizzlies there. Zalewski, Fillmore, Williamson. Great tip ball, but out of bounds. Tried to trick those front men from the Grizzlies, but accuracy just a little bit off. It goes wide. Romero puts the ball in. Zalewski, Sawatsky, swatted by DeBruyne. That's Gray. Kerr. Zalewski, Fillmore to Sawatsky, blocked at the net by DeBruyne. Forcing Niagara to burn their first time out.
That's a big block to try and get around between Kerr and DeBruyne there.
And despite the Knights grabbing that first point of the set, Grizzlies fired back 5 straight points, getting a 5-1 lead here in the second set. Romero in to serve. Ball is up and we're back underway following the timeout. Milne. Sawatsky puts it up. And I believe that touched ground. Definitely did on the second bounce. And Niagara gets their second point of the set. We'll send Ben Fillmore to the service box, fourth-year man out of Port Dover. And they're hearing it now. They're right in front of the student section. Roberts, Gray to Edwards. Blocked at the net, though. Bujardini got up there, got right in the path of that ball. Not letting it through. Ben Fillmore back to serve. Roberts handles the serve to Gray. Matt Kerr again, big kill at the net. Darian Haynes coming in for Keith Roberts as Kerr takes over the service line. Matt Kerr off the hands of Zalewski. Bujardini's going to have to come in hot, but too hot. And that ball's out of bounds. Georgian 7-3. Matt Kerr to serve. Zalewski to Fillmore to Sawatsky, out of bounds. 8-3 Grizzlies. Matt Kerr's serve is in play. Milne pops it up. Zalewski puts it over to Sawatsky. Sawatsky right at Romero, unable to handle it. Knights are able to get a point here. Cut that Grizzlies lead in half, 8-4 in the second set. Sawatsky, serve handled by Roberts. Gray sets up Haynes, puts it to Zalewski. Bujardini with the hit. And it was Milne stepping right over the line. I think he had both feet over the line. It's an easy call for the ref. Point Grizzlies.
Playing strong at the net there with DeBrun and Darian Haynes. Very big, very tough to hit around.
DeBrun with the spinning ball. Just didn't catch all of that. Puts it into the net.
I don't think it was the toss he wanted there. It was a little bit behind him, didn't get an approach.
It'll be Jake Williamson. He's having a good game so far. Gonna get to Roberts. Gray for Haynes. Haynes recovers after the block. Now Jake Edwards gonna put it to the back. Mishandled. That was Mitch Sawatsky, unable to handle that. Ball sent right at him. It goes out of bounds, and the Georgian Grizzlies now extending their lead. Jake Edwards heads to the service line. Sawatsky, Fillmore, Swindon. Roberts handles it to Gray, puts it to DeBrun. DeBrun fires off the fingertips of Swindon. He's upset as it flies out of bounds. Georgian 11-5. Milne's attempt there blocked. Milne try again, blocked by Haynes. Haynes saying not today. Another timeout by the Knights. Trying to find a rhythm, they just haven't been able to so far. A lot of players from many of the other Georgian Grizzlies varsity teams in that student section near the doors of the gym, making a lot of noise, a lot of energy for this Georgian Grizzlies men's volleyball team. Students and fans following along with the game. This tournament will be going on for the remainder of the weekend up until Saturday. Be sure to come check it out if you haven't. You can get day passes or tournament passes available at the door. Student card gets you in free. A whole lot of excitement going on with this gym. Jake Edwards takes the service line. Sawatsky, Zalewski, and Milne. A little help from the net.
Yeah, it took a funny bounce off the top tape around the blockers there.
The two blockers just lost exactly where the ball was, and it falls to the ground, giving the Knights the ball. Lead's cut in half as the Grizzlies have a 12-6 lead in the second set. Bujardini to serve. Hearing it from the Georgian crowd. Roberts, Gray. Romero, point, Georgian.
Georgian passing really well right now.
Making a living at that net there. Big kills by this Georgian offense. Darian Haynes to serve. It's up and over. Sawatsky has to deal with it. Fillmore putting over to Milne. Handled by LeBrun. Gray puts it back to LeBrun. Fired but blocked by Milne. Gray surprisingly puts it over the net there. Matt Kerr. Milne sends it back. Matt Kerr with the block. Fillmore to Milne. Trying to tip it. Matt Kerr is there. Liam Gray now setting up Romero. Just unable to get over that top bit of the net there. It fires back out of bounds. Niagara point. Grizzlies maintaining a good cushion out in front of this Niagara team. It's a 13-7 lead at the moment as Jaden Milne hopes to close the gap, but he is hearing it from this Grizzly student section. Ball is up. Jake Edwards, Liam Gray, Jordy Romero, great tip. A little flat arm there by Sawatsky. Keeps it alive. Matt Kerr to Gray, over to Romero. Right into Fillmore's chest. He's got nowhere to go with it. Point for the Grizzlies.
Great tip there by Romero, right off the outside hand of the block. A little underrated when everyone just wants the big kill. Sometimes you can just use that outside hand, finesse it a little bit.
When you got big blockers on the net like Niagara's up front there, that tip can be absolutely deadly as Gray puts his serve in bounds. Gray setting up De Bruin, firing it, gets the point, 15-7 Grizzlies. Finding net there is Liam Gray.
That's not bad out of a spin serve. I think that was his first one he missed all night.
High risk, high reward.
You don't want to miss, but still fairly consistent at the line. That's what you want.
Make it up defensively now. Number 9, Aiden Atkinson coming into the line for Niagara. Edwards to Gray, who sets up De Bruin. Good dig by Roberts. Jaden Milne. Fillmore. Williamson puts it right at Liam Gray, who didn't have a chance at that one. Atkinson holds the line. Right at Edwards again, to Gray. Romero, boom! Right at Jaden Milne, goes out of bounds. And Jordy Romero earns his Georgian Grizzlies another point as they take a 16-9 lead in the second set. Good serve there by Romero. Unreturnable on the Niagara side. 17-9 Georgian. Milne handles the Romero serve. And Williamson, Jake Williamson, the big kill there.
Yeah, they run Williamson a little unorthodox in the middle. You normally want the 51, the quick, the speed. And they run him a little off speed in the middle, meter balls, and it's hard to read as an opposite middle there for Kerr. But they also need to pass well to use it, so as long as they're using it well, then they keep it up.
And when it's worked, Jake Williamson's been mighty effective tonight. A lot of points coming from him as Fillmore puts it in play. Roberts doing a great job handling a lot of these serves. Puts it over to Edwards. Blocked but handled by Kerr. Gray sets up Kerr, finding the empty space in the middle of that Niagara defense. Kerr puts himself to the service line, 18-10 Grizzlies. Kerr will be subbed out. It's Daniel Ramos coming in the game. Daniel Ramos of the Belo Horizonte, Brazil. This Georgian Grizzlies family happy to have him as he puts the ball up. Zalewski, Fillmore, kill, Haynes. Like we've seen him do so many times before. Big kill at the net, earning points for this Georgian Grizzlies team.
Daniel Ramos pulling out the spin serve.
He'll go with it again. Unable to get to go right this time, but
you know, guys coming off the bench getting big points like that gets everyone going though. Regardless, you know, I missed that one serve. Everyone's a little jacked up after that one.
Romero to Gray, over to Edwards. Edwards firing. It's blocked out of bounds by Bujardini. 20-11 for the Grizzlies. Saxby now hinting and bringing in Caleb Cole, seeing his first action of the night. Ryan De Bruin will come out of the game for him, and Caleb Cole will take over the service line. Caleb Cole, first-year man out of Stratford. Ball's up. Good serve right to Zalewski. Fillmore now puts it to Williamson. Williamson spikes it, and it hit line. It was close, but the refs got the best look at it there. He calls it in, and Niagara is going to get the point. Sending Jake Williamson to the line. He's been the all-star for his team thus far. Ramos handles it. Kind of gave Liam Gray a bit of a contested ball at the net, and size disadvantage kind of beat him there, but Grizzlies right on to the next point. Williamson puts the serve up. Roberts handles it over to Gray. Edwards blocked by Bujardini. Great defense by the Niagara Knights. And Jake Williamson holds that line just like the Niagara Knights would like. They need to go on a run, get themselves back in this game to avoid falling down 2-0. Roberts handles the serve. Gray sets up Haynes. And was that tipped there, Adam?
Yeah, they got bailed out by a neck call there. Niagara was on the net.
Okay. Big points there. It's going to cost Niagara. Jake Edwards at the serving line. Sawatsky, Fillmore. Kyle Thiessen firing it out of bounds. Edwards right at Sawatsky. Fillmore, Bujardini handled by Roberts. Gray sets up Haynes, blocked by Swindon. Roberts now to Romero. Romero blocked by Swindon again. Swindon with a big rally there. A couple of big blocks. Gets the serve back for his team. And it'll be Bujardini in to serve. Needing something big from him ASAP. Tried to find the seam between Edwards and Roberts, unable to do so. And Niagara's getting called at the net.
Controversy going on here.
It's one that Niagara certainly doesn't like. And now the ref will speak with number 6, Ben Fillmore, explaining that call or perhaps issuing a warning. It was Swindon now talking to him. It was Swindon that was certainly not happy with the call. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, and maybe it does, as he is awarded a red.
He must have said some choice words out on the court there.
So for those at home who don't know exactly what a yellow and a red card does in the game of volleyball, can you explain that for us, Adam?
Well, the yellow card is just a warning, their first warning. I mean, he must have said something that the ref did not like to go right to a red card, but now Georgian will be awarded a point. And if something were to happen again, she could give a yellow and a red at the same time. You can be then kicked out of the set, or furthermore, you're kicked out of the whole match. But right now, it's just a point awarded to Georgian for that red card.
Well, that's a big point, as it'll send Darian Haynes to the line for a set point now. They're up 24-15. Swindon surely not happy with that one, but he's got to move on to the next point. He's got some big defense to play on this rally. Ball is up. Fillmore, Sawatsky puts it over. Gray setting it up. Cole off Zaluski, out of bounds. Georgian up 2-0. They win that second set 25-15. The Grizzlies are rolling. If you have not done so already, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That's Georgian Grizzlies for up-to-the-minute updates on 2018 OCAA men's volleyball action going on throughout the weekend. And live updates from the rest of varsity sports at Georgian College and everything else going on within the Georgian Grizzlies Athletic Center. Students and fans, the tournament will be ongoing for the next 2 days. We've had great turnouts thus far, a lot of energy and excitement inside the gym as day one wraps up shortly. This is the final match of the game. we'll look forward to day 2, featuring 4 matchups tomorrow. Consolation bracket games at 1 and 3, semifinal action at 6 and 8. That'll lead us into Saturday's consolation final, bronze medal, and gold medal games. Two teams returning to the floor as third set action will get underway in just a moment. Looks like it will be Niagara starting with the ball. Tristan Swindon looking to fire up his team. Ben Fillmore at the service line. Ball's up and out. So the third set starts the exact same way as the first set, with Niagara handing a point to the Grizzlies, 1-0 Georgian here early in the third set. Liam Gray setting up to serve. Spin serve fired in right to Zalewski. Fillmore will have to set to Williamson. Blocked by Kerr and DeBrun. That is a wall standing there.
Yeah, Matt Kerr had himself a career year, a first-team All-Star as a middle here with him and Darian Haynes. Averaging over a block per set just by himself, showing it there.
Gray setting up DeBrun. DeBrun firing. Williamson's going to have to volley it over, handled easily by Gray. Robert sets up to Romero. Romero fires. And point Georgian.
That one managed to squeeze down the front of the block there. I thought it went down on the Georgian side.
Liam Gray's serve sails out of bounds. Mitch Sawatsky taking the line for the Knights. Ball is up. Romero to Gray. Gray puts it up for Romero. Scrambling to keep it alive as the Knights, but they do, and they get it over. Romero puts it to Gray. Gray to Kerr. Money. Point, Georgian.
Kerr has been very successful all night.
Yeah, he's having a big game. He'll be a candidate for player of the match on that Georgian side. Romero, Sawatsky, Bujardini blocked by Edwards. Zalewski, Milne, Roberts is there. Bujardini, though, gets the tip over the net. Williamson. Good eye by Romero there. He lets it sail out of bounds. Another easy point for the Grizzlies. I'm sure Georgian's enjoying some of the points that have just been handed to them. They haven't had to work for those.
As you're Georgian, you're going to take that all day. You'll take that anytime.
Good job by Edwards getting up on that net. And a big finish by Haynes. Found the seam of that defense, much to the delight of head coach Reed Saxby. Matt Kerr to serve. Sawatsky, Fillmore, Bujardini. Gray's there. Kerr puts it up in the air. Fillmore now setting for Bujardini. Romero, that athleticism, as he has a diving save there.
Oh, Kerr is all over the floor there.
He almost had a huge save there. Just short, hit the net. And Bujardini is going to be serving for the Knights as they're awarded the point. 6-3 Georgian lead here in the third set. Momentary delay.
Kerr asking for that towel after he slid across the floor.
And we're back underway after just had to wipe up a small wet spot on the court. Bujardini. Edwards sets up Gray. Gray to De Bruyne, firing. Called out. It was close, but just on the far side of that line.
Yeah, a little bit of misfire. Just didn't get the right contact on his hand there, just out the back, just not by much.
Bujardini hoping to take advantage of this 2-point gap. Niagara called for being on the net. Niagara unhappy with some of the calls that have been handed out to them, but they surely don't want to risk another card at this point. Fillmore setting up Milne. Romero. Gray sets up De Bruyne with a nice little tip ball. Zalewski gets there. Fillmore puts it up. Sawatsky. Edwards tips it over. Bujardini to Fillmore. Linden blocked by Haynes. Gray setting up Haynes. Great rally there. Georgian not giving up on that ball.
That's some great defensive efforts on both parts there.
De Bruyne serves. Fillmore setting up Milne. That was a nice little tip over the net.
That was a great
just
shot.
Around those two Georgian defenders. Milne earns his way to the service line.
Georgia got called for out of rotation there.
Point handed to Niagara. Milne puts it up. Romero to Gray. Gray over to Edwards. Milne unable to get a clean touch on it. Out of bounds. Georgian point. They've got a 9-6 lead. Edwards to serve. Unable to really set it up on that Niagara side, but it's okay. Just goes to show, as long as you can get it over, you're still alive. As they swat down a Georgian return, close the gap to 9-7 for Georgian. Tristan Swindon serving for the Knights. Good eye by Keith Roberts. Let that one go right over his head, out of bounds.
Yeah,
Point Grizzlies.
A little team effort on that one, a little communication. It's always key at the back line there.
Fillmore sets up Williamson. Huge block by Kerr. Kerr's having a huge game.
Absolutely.
Haynes with the serve.
It's always the momentum killer there, and you serve the ball out or into the net.
A little miss hit. I'll have to play some defense now as Ben Fillmore gets the ball to serve. Crowd's still right in it. And now Niagara does the same thing.
Trading this serve.
No harm, no foul on that Darian Haynes. Shot into the net. Liam Gray. Great serve. Zalewski handles it well, puts it to Fillmore. Fillmore over to Bugiardini. Keith Roberts setting up Romero. Romero been striking well all night. Sawatsky puts it to Roberts. Roberts. De Bruin just unable to put it over the net. They were scrambling for that one. It looked like they might be able to handle it, but just short of getting over the net, and Niagara is at the service line now. Mitch Sawatsky. Jake Edwards puts it up in the air. Liam puts it back for Romero, and Romero, I think, stepped over the line. It will be Niagara point as they close the gap to 2 points now. 12-10 lead for the Grizzlies in this third set. Mitch Sawatsky to serve. Handled by Edwards. Those last few serves has gone right at Jake Edwards. Good opportunity for head coach Reed Saxby to take a timeout, gather his men, keep control of the pace of this game. It's been an absolutely great turnout from our Georgian Grizzlies fans tonight. What kind of difference can that make for players on the court?
I think it makes a big difference. It's always more fun, more exciting when there's a big crowd getting loud. For your playing with them, you know, here at Georgian, there's gonna be a lot of hometown fans. But even as Niagara coming into the environment here, you know, you're kind of in a hostile environment. It makes you want to play a little harder. You know, it's always fun going elsewhere and into their barn and putting out a good show.
Niagara walked in looking to silence this packed Georgian crowd, but to no avail thus far. Georgian up 12-11 in the third set. They have a 2-0 lead in the game.
You don't want to get too confident here. As Georgian, you got to win 3 sets no matter up. You're up 2, you can go to 5.
They've got to earn this last set win. You certainly don't want to play any unnecessary volleyball.
Exactly.
Tire yourself out on a long weekend like this. Big block there by Williamson. Going to earn a point for Niagara.
Just
Keeps
like
Sawatsky
that,
at the line.
We've got ourselves a tie game.
Sawatsky to serve. Roberts, Gray sets it to Romero. Firing. Grizzlies back out on top. Romero to serve. Firing it at Sawatsky. Sawatsky over to Bugiardini. Roberts now sending it over. Zalewski. Fillmore sets it to Sawatsky. Tried to tip it. Just short.
Oh, misfire on that free ball from Niagara.
When you see big body there like Matt Kerr trying to get up in front of that, I think last second he tried to change what he was doing, tried to go to the tip and just wasn't ready. Romero now on the serve. Milne, Fillmore, Williamson. Williamson having a great game.
Playing really well for the Knights here tonight. As a setter, you got to try and find a way to keep getting him that ball.
A little bit of miscommunication. 14-all here in the third set. Romero puts it in the air. Gray bumps it over to De Bruin. De Bruin gets blocked by Linden. It's Jake Williamson still on the serving line. Romero, Gray, De Bruin, point Georgian. It's all tied up again.
De Bruin found that backdoor shot around the block. Get Georgian out of a tough spot there.
Matt Kerr at the service line. Sawatsky, Fillmore, Milne. Scrambling defense by Georgian, but they return it. Milne now setting up Bugiardini with a tip. Kerr getting low to return it. Right to Haynes. Great transition from defense to offense for that Grizzlies team. Georgian student section chanting, "We want Kerr," as Matt Kerr heads to the line, looking to extend this Georgian Grizzlies lead. Some help from the net. Linden's not able to get it. Voices his frustration.
Looks like Kerr delivered for his fans in the crowd.
That'll fire him up even more. Matt Kerr feeling the hometown love as he puts the ball up.
It's a nice pass there.
Fillmore, Milne. Good try by Kerr. Put right in between Kerr and Romero. Good job by that Niagara attack, finding the gap, taking advantage of it, finding the points here as Bugiardini takes the line. Liam Gray to Cole. Linden went up to block it, but it was on the Niagara side of the net. And it'll be Caleb Cole heading to the service line as Georgian extends their lead to 2. Cole setting up. Good serve. Zalewski to Fillmore. Milne. Big block by Haynes. Falling to the ground. Grizzlies up 3. Niagara calls a timeout. Maybe their last opportunity to do so, as the Grizzlies are 6 points away from a date with the second round of the OCAA Men's Volleyball Championships. Georgian will be taking on, the winner of this game will be taking on the Humber Hawks. Tomorrow, Redeemer and Fanshawe have a match set up. Of course, those 2 games will be happening at 6 and 8 p.m. Check GeorgianGrizzlies.ca and Georgian Grizzlies Twitter and Instagram pages for more information about the times of those games. There's sure to be intense semifinal matchups. Caleb Cole stays at the service line. And the ball is up. Oh, it finds net. A little bit short. Niagara gets possession, and now Jaden Milne will surely look to take advantage of this possession.
Yeah, you need to go on a little run here if you're Niagara. You're running out of time.
Thorpe going up. Roberts, Gray, Thorup, big block by Fillmore. Cole putting it over. Zalewski unable to handle it. It falls to the ground. 3-point lead for the Grizzlies. 2017. Grizzlies lead 2-0.
Niagara's being strung at the net there. Georgia's not letting the ball hit the floor.
Tristan Swindon's done a great job defensively being at the net.
Absolutely.
But the power of the Georgian offense, sometimes just getting the ball right through.
Great
as Thorup,
pass.
big block by Haynes. Another big block by Haynes. And point is awarded to Georgian.
Looks like they called Fillmore on the net.
Sam Thorup with the serve. A line drive over the net. Sawatsky with a nice kill there.
Zlotsy's been passing well all night.
The Knights hanging around. They're going to try and send this one to a fourth set. We'll see if the Grizzlies can answer. Grizzlies hoping to end this one early. It's Atkinson with the serve. Roberts. Gray putting it over to Romero. Good tip, handled by Williamson. Fillmore over to Sawatsky, firing it out of bounds. Grizzlies lead grows to 4.
Yeah, like you said earlier, if you're Georgian here, you don't want to play any extra volleyball. It's a tough 3 games, 3 days, hopefully. You don't want to play anything extra. You want to close out here now, 3 points, push to close it.
They've got a great opportunity to end the night early, head into day 2, coming off a 3-0 sweep. Let's see if they can take advantage of a 22-18 lead here, up 2 sets to nothing.
Just being above the Niagara huddle here, they're also Williamson looking to get his team going here, try and push back, force some extra volleyball. That's what you want out of your veterans and your leaders. Try and get everyone motivated again. Might seem a little down, but there's still lots of volleyball here to play.
Grizzlies taking the court first out of the timeout. Niagara will now take the floor. It'll be Darian Haynes with the ball to serve for the Grizzlies. 3 points away from the second round and a trip to day 2 of the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championships hosted by Georgian College. Ball's up. Milne, Fillmore, Williamson, out of bounds, point Georgian. Mishandled by Milne. Milne over to Sawatsky. Contested at the net and point Georgian. Match point for the Grizzlies now. Darian Haynes hoping to send the fans home happy. Ball's up. Fillmore. Great hit by Jake Williamson, keeping this one going. Ben Fillmore serving for the Knights, trying to keep this one going. It's a 5 point separating the two teams in this third set. Gray, Romero, Thorpe backs him up. Gray now setting up Cole. Tip ball. The Grizzlies are moving on to day 2 of the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. A great game between the Georgian Grizzlies and Niagara Knights. But the Georgian Grizzlies, too much to handle, and they win 3 sets to nothing, sending these fans home happy. Be sure to stay tuned for the players of the match coming up after the handshake.
And Coach Grundville didn't seem too happy with the last call there.
I think the Niagara side feels a couple calls may have gone against them, especially with that red card, but
yep.
The refs doing a great job throughout the tournament, calling what they see. Looking towards the OCAA players of the game, who are your favorites?
Well, yeah, on Niagara side, you have to look at Williamson. He had a great game.
I think
night.
he's the sure thing.
They definitely had Georgian's great at the net. They had a tough time slowing him down. Obviously on the Georgian side, Matt Kerr looked like he had a phenomenal night too, both on the offensive, defensive. He was flying all over the court. Ryan DeBrun, before he got taken out, maybe some rest. Big long weekend for him. He had a great game too. Georgian as a whole, as a team, they played well out there.
I surely think it'll be Kerr. The Grizzlies thanking the hometown crowd for coming out. Of course, they'll have a chance to do so tomorrow night as well. The Grizzlies moving on to day 2 semifinal action. They'll be playing the Humber Hawks tomorrow night here at the Georgian College Athletic Center. Be sure to come out and support them. And it's Jaden Milne getting the player of the game for Niagara. He had a great game. couple big kills. He strikes the ball well. And there it is, number 18, Matt Kerr is the player of the match on the Grizzlies side. He was all over the floor tonight.
Yep.
Earning it.
Recall last year was our first game of the quarterfinals, and he had a stellar game himself too as player of the game last year. He shows up in the big moments.
That's what you want out of your star players. He'll have to keep it going tomorrow and hopefully into Saturday. This Georgian team has high hopes. But as we wrap up the first day of the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship hosted by Georgian College, we'd just like to say thank you to everyone for tuning in, following along. We've got a great tournament still to go the rest of the weekend. Of course, tomorrow, 4 games. Consolation bracket, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then the semifinals, there'll be Redeemer versus Fanshawe, and the Georgian Grizzlies hosting the Humber Hawks for a trip to the gold medal match on Saturday. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. We hope to see you at the Athletic Center tomorrow or following along on YouTube. Have a great Friday night.